guys, welcome back to Max Reaction. How are you doing today on this Monday? I'm doing great. I hope you are too. We're going to react to some game theorists, so you know it's going to be a good day. We're going to react to game theory FNAF, the theory that changed everything. FNAF 6 Ultimate Custom. Let's do it now. Don't like the looks of this. Oh no. Don't go in the door. Don't hurt whoever's in the door. Oh, he looks frustrated, don't he? Title of its theory changed everything, so it's probably hurting him inside. Oh no, that's creepy. Game theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to... Screw it, you know by now. If I seem a bit off my game today, forgive me. You'll soon learn why. Pull up a chair. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
I've caught you up on everything. And I do mean everything. All my past theories on FNAF 6, the gravestones, the masks, the names of the children inside the animatronics, the connections to the novel.
All of it.
The identity of the puppet. But then I showed you this. The FNAF survival logbook. That in 7 years of doing this finally broke me.
Oh no.
Within its pages an elaborate series of codes that serve as the key to unlocking the identity of Golden Freddy. A freaking children's activity.
Could have used that sooner, huh?
It is the thing to defeat me. That dabbing Chica taunts me in my nightmares.
Dang you.
Golden Freddy's unbreakable code is only the tip of the iceberg. This book is like a repeated kick in the balls.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Kick.
In front of my eyes. It's like Freddy Fazbear got a hold of the Infinity Gauntlet and snapped his fingers, and then all of my theories
gone.
Turned to dust. Because unlike
that's
the
horrible.
novels, which have questionable canonicity, the survival logbook outright answers a lot of our questions about.
Could have used this sooner, dude. Should have just waited.
Just lead to more questions, and not stupid small questions either, like what's Mangle's gender. No, it upends huge parts of the story. The logbook is simultaneously the most important, most revealing, and most frustrating piece of evidence to ever.
All of it. Full circle.
You see, as I mentioned last time, this workbook once belonged to Mike, aka Michael Afton. The book establishes that Mike writes his answers in red pen. It also establishes that there's a spirit possessing the book who seems might be a lightly faded text. From what I can gather, it appears to be the spirit of Golden Freddy. And starting with that information, the logbook then proceeds to drop bombshell after bombshell as far as lore reveals go. First, the book outright confirms what we've known for a while now, that Mike is the same Mike who works as the night guard during Sisterhood.
Alright.
When asked what he would like for his 1 week bonus, we see him doodling in the corners of the page baskets of money and baskets of exotic butters. On another page, he's
where's that gold block?
Set of casual bongos. Sure, it's nothing earth-shattering, but when it comes to this franchise, getting any portion of any theory confirmed is a big win. And while that
I'd say so, yes.
all that earth-shattering, you know what is? The book reveals that Michael Afton is who we play as in FNAF 4. On page 40, the workbook starts asking about dreams, and via his doodles, we see that Mike somehow knows the appearance of Nightmare Fredbear.
Oh my gosh.
The protagonist of FNAF 4 should be aware of. To further confirm this, on page 23 of the book, the spirit who uses the book to talk to Mike outright asks, "What's your favorite childhood toy, a plastic purple telephone?" Which, as you remember, is a direct reference to the purple telephone on the ground in the FNAF 4 bedroom. And if you still think it's a coincidence,
it's not a coincidence.
20 pages later,
I don't think so.
Starts talking about whether any of the toys on the page look familiar. Most don't, except for one.
The phone.
Now, for any of you who still remember how this whole freaking story fits together, you might be asking me, but we all thought the protagonist of FNAF 4 was the crying child, the one who gets himself bitten during the birthday party, because you have flashes of a hospital bed and hear a flatline at the end of the game. We also assumed that the animatronic Nightmare was representative of death. And you know what? You're absolutely right.
Woo!
Exactly what we've been thinking. And here's
we weren't wrong.
We weren't wrong. We've apparently been right about all of that. Except there was one tiny, itsy-bitsy little wrinkle that we didn't expect.
You mean a big one?
Michael Afton was the bite victim.
Oh no.
Michael Afton was the crying child. I know! I couldn't believe it either! But the proof here is unquestionable. On page 75, a page asking about imaginary friends and featuring the psychic friend Fredbear plush, the spirit outright asks, does he still talk to you? And perhaps the most damning piece of evidence of all, on page 103, the huge reveal, quote, the party was for you.
Oh.
Mike Afton is confirmed to be the crying child. He's the bite victim.
Confirmed.
At the end of the game, apparently needed to be put back together. It seems undeniable at this point. But then that leads to the obvious next question. How could he have been bitten and died there, but then also be in sister location as an adult, gotten himself scooped, blah, 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 until
blah, blah, blah,
when he finally burns with the rest of his family. I have been smacking my head against the wall trying to make sense of it all. And I have some theories. Big surprise there. It's interesting.
Let's hear your theories.
FNAF theory. Not that one. My final FNAF theory. No, not that one either. Those are technically FNAF 6 theories. God, jeez, this one. When I did this
the
theory,
final
I
theory.
concluded that the story of FNAF was, at its core, a story about a family, the Afton family. But now it's becoming increasingly clear to me that it's really the story of Michael Afton specifically.
Just the dad.
4 games, 1 story, like Scott said back during
Just
the
the
FNAF
dad.
4 days so long ago. It's the story of the crying child growing up, discovering the atrocities of his father, and then trying to make amends for those. We know for a fact that Michael Afton is the main character of FNAF 1 from the endgame paycheck, sister location from the name tag and custom night.
Right.
It was right where you said it would be.
FNAF 6 from Henry's closing monologue, and now FNAF 4 from the survival logbook. And we're still not done. The survival
Mike.
also connects Mike to FNAF 2. On page 56, the spirit asks, was your favorite ride the carousel? A question that only makes sense if Mike had been to the FNAF 2 location, because it's the only one with
the carousel.
That means that the only game without a solid connection to Mike is FNAF 3. But then there's the whole...
Father, it's me, Michael.
Complete with a burned-down Fazbear fright in the background, which seems to be hinting at him being the person who burned the place down, trying to put an end to his father's reign.
So it's Michael. Michael.
Connection with the dead children whose names appear on the gravestones. Going back to the survival logbook. See, I told you guys this thing was important. When the book asks about missing people on account of them being stuffed into animatronic suits, the spirit asks, do you miss them? It clearly connects Michael Afton to the other missing kids who go on to possess the animatronic suits. This means that Michael is connected to every game and every
bit of them
in the story. So let's update it to 6 games, 1 story. Michael's story. Which is all very beautiful to say, but seriously, what is that story? If you've been paying attention, we still have a pretty big elephant in the room, i.e. a dead kid who somehow grows up to become an immortal purple skin suit for robot spaghetti. Oh, and if the game wasn't complicated enough, Michael might not even be his real name.
Oh no.
The spirit in the logbook repeatedly asks him, what do you remember? And even more importantly, do you remember your name? It's even hidden in the freaking word search. And I haven't even
What is your name?
Other elephants in the room, like how very clearly the gravestones relate to the kids in the animatronic suits, and yet 2 of those names directly tie back to the security guards from FNAF 2. And if you want to go really deep, like you know I love to do, you see Susie's font on her gravestone?
Yeah.
Did you know it's the same font that's used to introduce each night of FNAF 4? That's something that no one else online has noticed, and if fonts are important, which remember, they probably are, Scott doesn't do coincidences, so 4 gravestones with completely different fonts is probably important in some way.
Probably so.
2 of the gravestones share the same font, but it's not Jeremy and Fritz, which you would probably expect since they're the 2 who are mentioned in FNAF 2. There are so many freaking elephants!
Lots of elephants.
It is a very crowded room. Remember what I said earlier about repeated kicks to the crotch?
More. Have some more.
What I'm talking about.
Have some more
that
kicks.
Said, after months of thinking about this and more kicks to the crotch than I care to mention, I think I do have an idea of what might be going on here. And it all begins in probably the most confusing place of all.
What?
Midnight Motorist from FNAF 6. When I first spoke about this minigame, I said that the mustard man here was William Afton. But I could tell that a lot of you weren't too convinced in my conclusion. And
The orange guy is actually Henry.
I wasn't 100% sure of it either, but it was the best I could do at the time. But now I am 100% confident that that is who we're seeing here. You see, FNAF 6 is simultaneously the end of the story as well as the beginning. It's the end because, well, everyone burns to death.
Right.
And it's the beginning
Dead.
because it's the origin story of the puppet. And as we know, everything begins with the puppet. She's the one that allows all the other animatronics to become possessed, as we see in FNAF 2.
Dang you, puppet.
Puppet minigame, pretty much the earliest event we ever see in any of these games. And we also know that it's William who killed Charlotte in that back alley. This is the origin
Shame
story
on you,
of the
William.
guy, complete with his purple car that we saw in FNAF 2 after all. But here's the detail I was missing before. If you brighten up the final screen of the security puppet minigame, you'll see tire tracks left by the purple car driving away from his crime. This leads directly to the events of Midnight Motorist, which happens immediately after his murder. Here's how we know this for sure. Not only are you driving a purple car, and not only is it raining in both of the minigames,
right?
So they're connected on both those fronts, but get this.
Whoa.
The time connection we needed to know 100% that orange guy is William Afton. He
Amazing.
kills Charlotte in the rain outside of Fredbear's, drives away, and winds up back home later
that night.
Boom!
Oh, later that night.
And looking at this minigame, knowing what we know now about Michael being the crying child, we know that the couch potato here is his older brother. Mr. Foxy Mask let me shove my brother into an animatronic mouth and get him killed, in his signature gray text, who apparently no longer has a name, which leaves Michael
No name.
as the one who escaped to that place again. That is who William is mad at, with that place being obviously none other than Freddy.
Freddy
And from there, a lot of
Fazbear.
pieces start to fit together. William's frustration with Michael escaping explains why we see him have surveillance cameras all over his house and sister location. It's not
Makes
an experiment
sense.
or anything. He is literally keeping tabs on the boy who keeps running away. It also explains why we
Stop
see
running away.
lying child locked in his room throughout FNAF 4. William himself says at the end of Midnight Motorist that Michael will be sorry when he gets back.
Oh,
and
no.
he is, as William constantly locks him in his room, making him unable to escape.
Abusive.
All of this might even explain the rationale for the nightmare animatronics. William built them, or else used his mind-altering sound disc that first appeared in the book and that we talked about in the previous theory, to scare Michael so that he would stop wanting to go to the restaurant in the first place. That's why he's so scared of the place when we see him in FNAF 4. I'm literally in the recording closet right now recording this, and suddenly things started to fit together in a weird way. I'm just going to throw this in here right as it happened in my mind. I'll need to look into this later in a future theory, but let's just bring it up now. Orange guy is William, right? But he's turned away at the front door of Junior's, which is completely random, and everyone's like, why is this in the minigame? Well, could it be because of the investigation into the missing children's incident? Remember what the old guy said from FNAF 2?
From what I understand, the building was on lockdown, no one was allowed in or out, you know, especially concerning any previous employees.
Afton is
Previous
rejected
employees.
at the front door of the building because of the lockdown, and because he's a previous employee. It makes the timeline a bit messy, and I'll have to go back and rework it, but something about this feels right. William Afton was fired from his job, goes back to Junior's, but the building is under investigation because of the missing children's incident. William, being a former employee, is
can't go back in.
He's not allowed in. It's not a bar, it's nothing like that. It's Freddy Fazbear's Jr. or something, the second location, the FNAF 2 location. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there because it just occurred to me as I was writing this thing. I haven't had time to fully flesh it out or work it into the script, but I thought
Fair
it was
enough.
enough to include, break the flow of things. Regardless, it gives us something else to chew on. Now back to the actual episode as I wrote it. Okay, I continue to avoid the obvious question here. Michael's death and apparent rebirth. If I'm being honest, it's because I don't really have a fully fleshed out explanation for it. It's less of a theory and more of a hypothesis, really. So would you be so kind as to Freddy Fazbear with me?
Oh,
no.
no.
Think might be happening here. We know that Michael Afton is special, right? I mean, we see him get scooped, become a pile of rotten flesh, and yet he is still able to survive. In short, when we see him in sister location, he's not altogether human. Now, hold on to that idea for a second.
True.
Sister location, explanation, let's look at the Immortal and the Restless. The super random
Immortal and the
from
Restless.
the game with a name that, now that I say it aloud in context, actually starts to make a little bit more sense. It stars Vlad, an immortal vampire who's dressed in purple, who starts every episode saying,
Clara, I tell you, the baby isn't mine.
And in
Baby
fact,
isn't mine.
Afton, a man who's apparently immortal enough to survive a spring lock failure, who,
Right.
like a vampire, sucks the remnant out of children and who knows, maybe survives on it, and is represented by the color purple. It's actually a lot of similarities. So
I'd say so.
lines of
Not my baby. The
Not my baby.
isn't mine. The baby isn't mine.
The baby.
actually relate to William's relationship with Michael. What if Michael isn't actually William's son? It seems like it would be a logical leap, but we know for a fact that Michael's real name isn't Michael. Remember what the logbook said. Do you remember your name? Well, of course he does, logbook. He wrote it on the front cover. Mike. Unless, of course, that's not his real name.
Ooh.
So you got all those details?
Ooh.
Good, because here's where all this
It's a lot of details.
together. In the novels, one of the big overarching storylines is that the main character, Charlotte, had a twin who was kidnapped by Springtrap when she was younger. At the end of the second book, it's revealed that the twin wasn't actually kidnapped, it was her. Which seems to imply that Charlotte and her twin were one and the same, or were somehow interchangeable.
Weird.
And in the final
Weird.
pages, Charlotte dies from a spring lock failure, only to miraculously come back to life unscathed in the next few days as if nothing had ever happened. There are also a lot of clues sprinkled throughout the book that William
Maybe there's
has
two
the
of them.
ability to create hyper-realistic humanoid robots. I even mentioned that briefly during a past FNAF theory. I haven't even gotten how I think the main character of the book series is probably a robot, but again, those are all theories for other days. Long story short, everything seems to point to Charlotte in the books being an AI. Maybe at one point she was a person, but she died.
Artificial
or was invented
intelligence.
at an early age, and ever since her personality has been programmed into a computer where she's now able to be replicated over and over again into a super advanced robot that somehow
That's
now
creepy.
able to
That's
run
creepy.
the
Starts
I didn't
to
write the
creepy.
books, okay? Now, obviously, the two are vastly different canons, but the games and books do relate in a lot of ways. And we know in the games from William's daughter Elizabeth that full-on personalities of individuals can get programmed into AI.
That is so
Elizabeth
scary,
possesses
like,
the
even in
spirit
real
of a
life.
baby. So what if Michael is just one of those? Sure, he was killed in the bite of 83, but when William promised to put him back together, it meant literally put him back together.
Could
Find
mean-
a way to
could have meant
piece
that.
him back together using some combination of robotics expertise and miracle soul
AI.
remnants. That's how Michael dies in FNAF 4, but somehow comes back to life in later games.
Hmm.
He's able to get scooped, get a bunch of robot spaghetti, and he would no longer be able to remember his original name. And
That makes
after he
sense.
realizes the truth
That makes
about what
sense.
he actually is, that he's no longer human, he decides to end it all in the inferno of FNAF 6, after having done his best to set the souls of his former friends free. Whew, boy,
Makes a lot of
that's
sense.
a lot. And between all these reveals and last week's code, there is a ton for us theorists to start chewing on. But now you get an idea of why I've been beating myself up for months trying to put this whole thing together.
I'd say so.
It upends mostly everything that we thought we knew about the franchise. Sure, it answers some of our questions, like Midnight Motorist and a bit more about FNAF 4, but it opens the door to a lot of new avenues to explore. Anyway, the final book in the FNAF trilogy, The Fourth Closet, is coming out soon. I know a bunch of it leaked online already, but I'm trying to stay blind to it so as not to spoil anything in my theories. And even more
Right.
exciting, Scott is releasing Ultimate Custom Night soon. So between those two, I am certain that there'll be more clues on the way helping us
Absolutely, dude.
into all of this.
Absolutely.
Back together, we can take you apart all over again.
So until then, remember, it's all
A
just
theory.
a theory. A game theory. With some game hypothesis thrown in there for good measure. Thanks for watching. By the way,
So what do you think about his theory? A lot of his other theories got blown out of the water by the survival guide, so I don't know if I want to trust this theory or not. Do you trust it? Do you have anything to add? Did the boy forget his name? Did the boy come back as artificial intelligence? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm so confused, and it's not very clear. I can't even guess or anything like that. But anyway, I really enjoy the theories. Lots of clues in there. You learn so much from these game theory videos. for new things coming out, so you can look at every little detail of the game and try to put it together if it's something like this where it's a mystery. But anyway, I hope you like my reaction. I'm going to drop his link down below. Also, if you want to become an MRA member, hit that subscribe button and become one. And next time you choose a reaction, choose a max reaction. Peace.